Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Kevin over at jkevinjohnson.com. Just here one more time. Just wanted to talk with you, sit down and kind of explore and let out and articulate some things that's been on my mind lately. Just talk to you for give me about 30 minutes, and we'll just shoot the breeze, and see if we can have a little conversation going on. See if we can distill some nuggets of wisdom, instruction, some principles that will help lead and guide us as we go along our way. That will help be a blessing, encourage us, and give us a little nugget of hope, a little piece of hope to help carry us over. You know, that little morsel of crumb of hope that will help get you through, help keep you in the land of sanity and away from the three-ring circus of the Barnum and Balaam's, the Barnum and Balaam's out there. You know, we don't want you going out there and joining the three-ring circus and going into the insanity asylum. No, we want you sane and sober and having fun and just living life under the leadership and guidance and instruction and moving of the Holy Spirit, so that you can enjoy the present, as it is so poignantly called the present today, so you can enjoy everyday life, like I hear one of the ministers say, enjoy your life. Enjoy your relationships, and enjoy all the things that have been placed on this on God's green earth for you to enjoy and to explore and to experience. We are spiritual beings in a physical world, experiencing things and experiencing life on a whole new dimension, whole new plane. So it's beautiful, and you are made in His creation, and you are beautiful. Don't forget that. You're beautiful. Yes, you are. So God didn't make any junk. So we're just going to be talking some good things today, give you some hope. And this is important. Why is this important? I didn't give you today's subject. Today's subject we're going to be talking about. We're just going to focus on watching what you eat, watching what you listen to, watching what you consume, watching what you take into your heart, and talking about the importance of using discretion when it comes to your heart. When it comes to your heart and mind and what you actually take in, because we're like computers, we're like mechanical wetware. There's a new terminology between hardware and the biology or people, between computers and people. So we're like wetware. We're like biological computing creatures that are very sophisticated and complex as far as our design, but it's also simple too. Looking at the design, looking at how powerful you are, and looking at just the makeup of you. You're made in the image of God. So you're like little g gods, and that you have the capacity to create. You have the capacity to love. You have the capacity to imagine and build and create a reality under His vision for yourself. You don't have to subject yourself to under His vision, but He desires a relationship with you, so that in that relationship, you grow in your maturity as far as expressing the gifts and talents and your image of being God, of being a creation of God. So it's important that you watch and that you concern yourself and you give caution to what you allow to come into your lives through the multiple pathways that are possible and that exist with you as being a human being, because what goes in will come out, and it's you could either be reaping a harvest of bountiful, pleasant blessings, or you could be reaping harvest of just desert, dry, negative, harsh consequences. Um, the principle of reaping and sowing, seed time and harvest is always in play. So you have to check what kind of seed are you putting out. Are you putting out corrupt seed, or are you putting out good seed that's going to bring about blessings in your life versus curses in your life? So this is why it's important that we watch what we take in, because what we release and what comes out of us will either be blessing or cursing, and it will produce either positive or negative things in our uh, things in our lives that will give us a lot of headache or give us a lot of relief and peace. So we live in a world that isn't really concerned about what the average person, about what you consume and about what you take in, because if they were, the world in which we live wouldn't be designed in such a fashion in which we are saturated. We are in a sea. We are surrounded by a lot of negativity and a lot of, there's positive too, but the emphasis is given, they say the bad news travels further and faster, right? So ain't nothing like bad news traveling through the grapevine. It didn't take long, right? Something, you can hear about so-and-so within 2 seconds flat after so-and-so done did it, if it's negative. But if so-and-so does something positive, you may not hear a thing, or it may take you years before you hear about what so-and-so did that was good and positive. So we know that bad news travels far and fast, because just looking at like the magazine racks. I was in the grocery store the other day, and just kind of glossing over the magazines in the line, checkout line, and it's just to no avail. It's been the same headlines since I was a little boy, a young guy, until now my early adulthood. I'm gonna say early adulthood, which I'm 37, so to me that's still early adulthood. You don't get late adulthood until you're like 90. With the times we live in, 90 is like the new 50. It should be anyway. If we really take heed to a lot of things that we take in, which is what this show is about. So we're going to focus on the heart and mind, but also physically too. You want to be mindful, because that affects you too. And it affects all of this affects your spiritual walk. It affects your relationship on the spiritual plane with the Creator, which means it can either bring you closer and bring clarity as far as hearing His voice, and your relationship bring you closer to Him, or it could you could push Him further and further away with your actions and with what you subject yourself to. So this is important. Like I was saying, with the negativity, just looking at the magazines in the checkout line, that's all you see in the headlines, right? You see so-and-so done this, so-and-so got in a fight here, so-and-so's in jail, or so-and-so's doing drugs, and so-and-so this and so-and-so that. But it's with respect to the good things, it's not really pushed or promoted. You may see it here and there, but as far as a ratio, as far as a percentage, I mean, it goes without saying. We all know that the percentage of negative news versus good news is just, it's there, so to speak. And that's just putting it safely, and that's just painting it with a broad brush. So, this is why it's important that we guard our hearts. What we take in will go out. We're walking quantum computing machines. We are capable of so much, and we have to be mindful of just let's say television. We have to be mindful of a lot of the television shows that we take in, a lot of the music, a lot of our associations that we allow to others and our sphere of influence to influence us and speak and be and invest into our lives. And just looking at the culture and entertainment and art and stuff like that, you want to be mindful of what you give your eyes to and what you look at and what you dwell on and what you meditate on in that respect, because that is shaping your thoughts and shaping your emotions and your will, and it's shaping your perception, which is determining your beliefs, which is determining your behaviors, which is affecting your repeated behaviors, which becomes habit. And if you know anything about habits, habits are very small. They're repeated action, repeated behaviors that over time lead to the building of something. It leads to the culmination of something. So your small daily habits, when you look at it over years and multiple years and decades and centuries, and you look at the legacy of your small daily habits, a picture is painted. A picture is painted. So this is very important, very essential that we're aware and that we are mindful of these things, because what goes in will come out. Your heart is like a treasure, and out of it comes the issues of life, so to speak. So let's go to, let me see here real quick. I was just kind of glimming over some verses, which is what I do. I don't try to do any like hardcore studying or anything like that. I just kind of glim over some verses to help give me a mindset, so that when we do these shows, when I do these little small segments, a lot of times I do these podcasts from the perspective of me just talking to you from my heart. So whatever I've taken in for the day, for the week, for the month, I just let it all set in there. I don't even try to organize it. I don't even try to. I try to get like a little outline of what I'm going to say, kind of. But I just kind of just speak from the heart. I do a lot of these shows from the heart just as a form of meditation, a form of therapeutic practice, and just a form of just speaking. Words have power. So I'm just putting my words out into the internet, out into the ether, and hoping and knowing that it will resonate with a certain group of people, just knowing that it will resonate with whoever it's supposed to resonate with for that moment, for that day, for that time, for whatever. So just know that I do these shows a lot of times, these little small podcasts, most of the time without any like hardcore things in line, just speaking and allowing it to resonate with whoever it resonates with. I listen to hundreds of hours of podcasts, YouTubes, interviews, a lot of things, a lot of lectures and stuff. So I'm constantly taking in information and data, and this is a way for me to kind of just release whatever's in me out there, and hopefully, like I said, this show is to encourage, entertain, edify, build you up, and enlighten if it does. Everything that's I'm just an aggregate, a source in which you can come and find some relief from the world in which we live. If you just want to take a break from the Facebooks and the Twitters and the Pinterest, these things are good tools to have and use and to wield in your life. But at times you do have to step away and just kind of assess what you've been taking in and seeing what is actually being placed and settled in your heart. So let me go to Proverbs 4:20 through 23 real quick. Proverbs 4. I've been spending some time in Proverbs. I love Proverbs. It helps get me through the day. You gotta have that. You gotta have that encouragement and hope spoken into you on a daily basis. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. So you want to keep your heart, because out of it flows a lot of your life. It flows. Um, it flows out of your heart. Flows everything that has been placed in you. So you want to be careful and be mindful about what you allow to speak into your heart. And there's many pathways in. The five senses, the sixth sense being one of a spiritual nature. So you want to be mindful of what you allow yourself to, what you avail yourself to. And I know a lot of times today we really, in my view, I don't see a lot of people really taking this into consideration. For if they did, they wouldn't watch the programs they watch or communicate and avail themselves long time to such things that can bear on them in a lot of negative ways. And I just see that, I have children, so I've become really kind of like hypersensitive to this. And that I'm just looking at my children, and I'm looking at what they're taking in, and I'm looking at how it's really affecting and shaping them. And it's very powerful. And I'm looking at a lot of their behaviors and the stuff that they're mimicking. And just knowing that who we are as human beings and how we pick up things and how we absorb things. We have these, just one interesting fact, we have these what's called mirror neurons. And what these neurons do is they mirror what they see. So it's easy. We have the capability and the ability, all of us to some degree or another, depending on where we're at, who we are, to watch something and then mimic it. And this is one way in which we learn. Monkey see, monkey do. No, I'm not calling you a monkey, but what I'm saying is that we have the ability, some stronger than others, to actually, one of the ways we learn is by watching. And like I said, I know some people are better at this than others, but we all have these mirror neurons in that we mimic, and we project back to what's being projected to us. One example being one tip that somebody gave me is that you want to be careful with your facial expressions, and you want to smile. If you want to, one of the things about smiling is when you smile at somebody, more often than not, they're gonna automatically smile back. And that's an example of a mirror neuron in action, in that we often mirror facial expressions or nonverbal expressions of others without even realizing it, not even at a cognizant or a conscious level. It's just something that happens below the threshold. And this is something that I learned when I was in sales, in that whenever you want to set the stage for a sale, immediately when you meet whoever your client or whoever you're trying to sell to is, you want to greet them with a smile and greet them with positive body language, and they'll mimic that, but they'll mimic and then mirror it back. And what it does is, even if the person wasn't in a good mood, that helps sets the other person. It helps set yourself in a good mood, but it also helps set the other person in a good mood too. And this is how you can kind of help put things in your favor ever so slightly, as far as relationships and meeting people and first impressions and stuff on that level. So that's just one small little thing that the reason why you want to be mindful of what you take in, and looking at who we are as people and how powerful we are just as people. But anyway, you want to be mindful about what you take in. Oh yeah, I was talking about children and TV, and just looking at how TV is a very powerful tool, either for good or for bad. I heard, I haven't really researched it out, but I heard that Steve Jobs wouldn't even let his children have tablets and iPads just because the negative effect that it has as far as brain um, um, brain function and the wiring of the brain. I seen a TED talk in which a guy gave a report, a speech, a talk about a scientific study as far as the tablet and television, and how we really should be mindful. We really shouldn't let our young kids have them or play with them, because they do affect and have a negative effect on children with respect to mirror neurons and how the wiring of the brain, and how the television and these screens that we are putting, that are becoming ever so prevalent in our society, how this is negatively affecting children, and the input that they're getting from it is shaping and determining them in a negative fashion. It's not for their good. So this is just one small example of being mindful of the pathway of sight and what you watch and what you take in. Another thing with television is Hollywood. We ain't gotta dwell on Hollywood. We know Hollywood got all kind of stuff in it, and it's just a pipeline. It's just straight to your heart. Hollywood is, and just looking at a lot of headlines in the checkout lane and looking at the magazines and stuff. There's a lot of stuff coming out of Hollywood that's being directly deposited into your heart when you sit down and you avail yourself to it. And what you allow Hollywood to place in your heart and take residence and become a treasure, believe you me, it's gonna come out, and it's gonna feed your soul in a negative fashion. And we all have innate and inborn desires that tempt us to do things that we know we shouldn't be doing. So when we take this stuff in, we allow it to we meditate on it, we allow it to treasure up and become abundant in our hearts. Believe you me, sooner or later you're gonna be like, how did I end up here doing the things that I'm doing now? I did not mean for all this to happen. But if I had been more mindful and taken caution and set up some parameters, some boundaries on my heart and my mind, I could have avoided a lot of mistakes. And I'm just saying that just we all can make life a little easier when we watch what we take in. Just looking at that. So it's Proverbs 4 and 20 through 23. You want to be mindful of what you listen to as far as music. I seen where what's his name? David Bowie. He had just recently passed, and I was looking on YouTube and I was looking at some of the last songs that he had produced before his death, and I was looking at some of this stuff, and there's no way I could put it. This stuff is just dark and Luciferian in nature when you start looking at the videos and you start breaking down some of the symbolism in some of these videos that he put out and stuff, and it's just like, this dude was dark. Now, as a consumer, if I were to be a consumer of his artwork and his music, I would be placing my heart in direct path of reception or consuming some dark Luciferian material, some satanic stuff that's just going to open my heart up to some darkness, right or wrong. So you give me some feedback on that, right or wrong. So I'm gonna be. I could barely even watch like a couple of minutes of it. In that I could see that this was taking me to some dark places that I've come out of, and you don't want to go back to those places. But now that I'm practicing being more mindful about what I take in, and just giving myself over without even thinking about it, I've been able to and you will be able to set yourself up for success, um, and set your heart up for to to not have a lot of heartaches. Let's go to Matthew 12:35. Matthew 12:35, and just knowing that your heart is a treasure. Your heart is a cupboard. It holds on to some things. So you want to be mindful what you allow your heart to hold on to. Be mindful. Matthew 12:35. Let's go there real quick. Here we go. A good man out of the good treasure of the heart bringeth forth good things, and an evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things. So you want to be mindful of what you take in, and for that the consequences, or some even further reading, like in Matthew 12:36, he says, "But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give an account thereof in the day of judgment. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned." So it's important that you be mindful what you take in, because what you take in will come out, being that you will speak it out, and words do have power. You do have the power to speak blessings on your life, or cursings on your life, and your words will condemn or will justify you. So this is something that I personally have to be mindful of on a regular basis. James talks about the tongue, and bridling the tongue and keeping it under control. So this is something I have to work on a daily basis. I know that there are many of you out there that has to work on a daily basis, being mindful of what we say and speak, and just knowing that you are very powerful. We are very powerful in that our words do have power. They have weight to them. Our words do create reality, and our words are like software to the the hardware of the heart. So what you speak into somebody, what you speak into yourself, can help shape and determine your reality. And this is not new age talk, or this is not new agey, but this is straight from the word. The world was created by God's word, and being that we are small imagers, we are small, we were made in His image, and powerful co-creators. We have the power to speak blessings into our life using the word of God, and we have the power to speak cursings into our life when we speak what the enemy speaks, if we allow ourselves and avail ourselves to his tongue and what he speaks into our lives. So it's very important what you take into your heart, because it will come out. And the mouth is one way in which it will come out. Another way being our actions. You don't have to say a word, but what you do is evidence of it's a manifestation of what's been placed into you, how you are, and what in your behavior. So what you speak, what you do, these are manifestations of what's inside of you. That's the only way we can know. We can't discern somebody's mind, what they're thinking, without seeing some evidence of it, unless we're operating in the gift of discerning and through the Spirit of God. So we want to be mindful. I know I'm repeating that, but it's very important, and I'm talking to myself as well. Just being careful about what we take in. The world we live in isn't concerned about it. They're going to keep doing what they're doing. But just wanted to talk and speak with you guys briefly today, and just kind of put out that. Just wanted to encourage you and give you hope, and that you are loved. You are made in the image of God. You are powerful. You have the power to speak blessings into your life. You have the capacity to be an example of love and light in the world, and you have the capacity to be a strong and powerful influencer in your life and in the lives of others. So it's very important that you are careful and mindful, that I am careful and mindful what we take in, what we watch, and what we avail our hearts to and allow to take residence and treasure in our heart, because what goes in will come out. What goes in will come out. You are very powerful, and don't you forget it. You are well loved. You are beautiful, and may his face shine upon you and give you peace and be gracious unto you. So just have fun, enjoy yourself, enjoy this present that we call life, and appreciate it for all the goodness that it is. No matter where you may find yourself, be content and just appreciate. Find a way to be grateful. Find a way to have gratitude and find peace, and aim and have your goals. Your main goal to be to hear those words. What are those words? Well done, my good and faithful servant. No matter how many times you royally mess up in your life, I mean, you really done made some boo-boos. No matter, I really done made some boo-boos. No matter how many times we do this, no matter how many times you do that, just get up, dust yourself off, and always pray and aim and speak blessings in your life and into the lives of others. Do the best you can. Do your best. Let God do the rest. And just have fun. And with that, talk to you all later.